let me put some numbers on that, because when I first proposed doing this kind of a mailer, which is probably what brought you here today, I've written it up thinking, oh, there you go, okay, 2,000, a mailer of 2,000 pieces. And when I asked Maury for the list of the zip codes that were involved, because those are the post offices that I had to contact, the actual potential full mailing was 10,000 drops. 10,000, either P.O. boxes or mailbox, or mail delivery, street deliveries, 10,000. That's what this library serves. That's their number of patrons.
And that's just households. That's not the number of people that live in that household.
Right, yeah, you can multiply that.
This gentleman
Yeah,
here.
thanks. I'm sorry, I have to go to another community meeting, so I'm going to leave. But it sounds like you're doing an incredible job and a lot of work, and the library looks really good. I mean, I lived in Southern California until the last year, and people had to close their libraries during the recession. So the fact that the library's here and it's working and people are attending it is something that we're really, you should be proud of. I have to tell you though, my big concern is outlets for laptops. I'm a freelancer. A lot of people in the freelance economy work off their laptops.
Right.
Not a big selection there, and really the library gets heavily used in the high season. People who have homes up here come up. They're working out of the library for a couple of days, and then they go back to the city, kind of thing. I mean, it becomes kind of stressful. I think probably winter probably less stressful, but I'd love to see more outlets. I think there's probably a big savings in water saving and waterless fixtures throughout the system, not just in Guerneville. You go to CSU and you see if they put a waterless fixture in there that says saves $40,000 a year. I don't know if that's true, but I mean, that's just such an easy savings. Of course, there's the infrastructure investment. You have to find that money first,
right?
And that's a problem, and I get it. But it would be great to look into that, because that's such a once you install those things, it's just cash that comes back to the system.
Right. The library is at this very moment looking into energy efficiency, conserving as much as they can to help sweeten their own pot.
So outlets, and also I think the one thing I would say is it's great that you're having the e-reader system, the e-reader program, and I would embrace it, because the reality is digital curation of content is what's going to happen.
Right,
So,
and people who travel, it's convenient.
Yeah.
It's much better than carrying 20
I also
paper
think,
bags.
there is value. I mean, I see the selection. I use the selection of books in the library, and I see the selection, and it's obviously curated. And it's funny because in a bigger system, and I've lived in areas with much bigger systems, you don't get that sense of the curation of the library staff. So here you do, and I really appreciate it. Thanks very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Yes.
Oh, I just want to say, yes, I have an iPod and I read online when I'm traveling, but I would much rather read a hardback book, and I use our library a lot. And I'm a total techie person. One, still rather have that book. Number two, if anyone's coming here with their iPad or wireless, most likely for $14.99 at AT&T, they most likely, if they're somebody carrying an iPad or a laptop, have that. So investing more into that, you could just simply get a wireless router for like 40 bucks. You don't need to have more outlets for laptops.
We do have the wireless router, but they just need to keep their computer plugged in, powered up.
Right, well that's on them. They don't need to use your energy, right?
I think you meant plug into AC power.
Yeah, but they don't need to put that on our library. They should be responsible. Their batteries, even an old laptop, will last 3 hours. So.
Right, well we have people in here from 10 a.m. to 2 minutes before 6, and then they go out and sit in their car because they can get our wireless in their car. I should start taking pictures of things like that.
Yeah.
Yes?
I'm curious, can everybody stand up when they're going to speak?
I'm curious, what happened to funding for Monterey Branch after they closed it after the flood? Did it just go back into the general pot for the library? Okay, so they didn't give it to Guerneville?
No.
Unfortunately.
Everything does go back into the general pot. Yes?
Are you going to start opening up on Monday?
What is going on right now from the Monday closure, we have been able to save enough money that we're not going to be closing, I don't think, between Christmas and New Year's. So that's a step in the right direction, that we're going to be open that week instead of closing down. which is a huge benefit for our patrons. The next thing on the list would, the commission is working on it right now for looking at when revenues do increase, how do they prioritize, you know, whether it's opening on Mondays, changing the hours, or...
Yeah, I just wanted... I just want to say, if you are interested in hearing the report that the director has had her staff put together about Monday closings, it's on the agenda for this coming Monday's commission meeting. So you can also see the document on the internet. It should be posted on the library's internet. So I don't know that the commission will be making a decision this month about whether we'll reopen or not on Mondays. We're going to hear the report and consider some options.
Stan, please.
If you're planning to raise money or you want help raising money, can you do it autonomous from the county? You're just doing it as Guerneville Library, or how does it work with the whole county?
What we're, you can raise money for Guerneville that goes to the River Friends, and then it stays in Guerneville.
Does River Friends have a website or Twitter?
They're on Facebook.
We have a Facebook page.
If you want more business, easy way to raise money, I'm happy to help for free. I'm a homeowner here.
Yeah.
There's a lot. Facebook is going, there's other ways, so I'm happy to help.
Yeah, we'd appreciate that.
Lois?
This is a small question, but it's large. I heard you say something about fines for holds. I'd like to know what that is, and then I'd also like to know how the general public learns these things. Since I just heard it for the first time, and I come to the library pretty frequently.
Sure, I'd be happy to speak about that. The commission considered charging $1 fee if you did not pick up your holds. Because the whole, one of the things we all love about the libraries is that you can order books from any branch and even from out of county. And what happens, and Mari probably has the statistics better than I do, but it's a great, it takes a lot of resources for that to happen, for the book to get to you here in Guerneville. And then if you just don't pick it up, it sits there for some days after your hold expires. Okay, so the commission has considered putting a dollar charge for people who have not picked up their holds, and just let them sit.
So
but we have not implemented it at this
my
point.
larger question is, how do we learn about these things, or do they just happen to us?
Well, that's why we're trying to encourage you to come to your library advisory board
We have
meeting.
lives, we can't come to all these meetings. Isn't there some way to disseminate information?
Email. They do post information about proposed things like that.
Where?
We post the agendas up on the bulletin board, at least 72 hours, usually longer than that, on our bulletin board.
And there are flyers out there about the fine increase. The library gets, right?
And as far as I know, there were articles in the Press Democrat.
And the other thing is the information that is given to the commission, the attachments to the agenda, they're posted on the internet, so you can go look at them there too and see, what the library director is proposing.
And I would point out that at least for me, I'm leaving cards about what about in front of how to contact me if you have questions about the library advisory board. And Bruce, you can contact through the Friends through his Facebook page, and Mari through the library. She has an address at the librarian, I think, at the library. And
Yeah, and I have cards in the library, and I have no problem handing these out to you.
But we'll take note of this, and maybe we need to disseminate information in a better way.
Yeah.
Christmas.
Hi, I have three things. One, just addressing the fines for the holds. Sometimes you have no idea when the holds are going to come in, and you have a time limit. So by the time the hold gets in, you've already had to buy the book to do whatever it is you were going to do. I always try and cancel the hold or tell them when it arrives, I've already gotten the book, because you have no idea when it's going to come. You don't get any forewarning. There's there's no even window, you get a vague idea it's going to be in the next 3 months. There's
Well,
like
we haven't
180 goals ahead of you, so I think that needs some tweaking.
Right.
In terms of funding, I always find you go where the money is. You don't ask people who don't have it, and the people who have in this county obviously are the wineries. They must have an organization, and the bohos. They got so much money, it's a shame. And those two groups, if approached in the right way and targeted in with enough guilt perhaps, could pony up money in the area that they're getting all their goodies from. So that's one, those are two things, and this is something I think is really critically important. You're targeting teens. I would love to see a program at the library, including the film Bully, and bullying. And I'd like to see it not just once, but on maybe an annual basis, because it's an issue that's not just attacking teens, but it's a larger area of targeting people who are different for discriminatory behavior. We have had people beaten very badly here for various reasons, and kids go through god-awful things. And the library, if it's going to be a center, I think that would be a wonderful way for kids to really get an idea that we really care. We don't just want your bodies here. We want to help your lives be better. Thanks.
Thank you.
Okay. Yes?
Can you
Please
tell
stand,
me,
please.
can you tell me if the current director is leaving and if her replacement is being looked in now? Is that something that's going on?
She is not leaving at this point.
She didn't take that other job?
No, it was given to somebody else.
I didn't hear that.
In the back, yeah.
She didn't hear something.
I didn't hear you.
The current director did not take that job in Louisiana, so she is not leaving at this point.
Oh, if you're planning to put her on holds that expire, people use it, most likely, most of them will be happy to pay, because you do give us a generous 10 days to pick up our books, because I do everything by email and on hold. But I would say, if what you said before, if you have people actually plug into your PG&E and you're using it, over 3 hours, you should put a charge on that, because that's almost, if you're doing it for 9 hours a day, that's ridiculous. And if you have 10 people doing that, imagine your energy bill, even if you haven't converted yet to solar or whatever. So that should be an additional charge, like 3 hours charged, something like that. That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yes?
The public library is a free, it's supposed to be free. I don't think you should be charging for that kind of thing. It's for people who don't have those things otherwise. It doesn't really matter. It's supposed to be a free service in this society in which we live. I'd like to hear, I came in a little bit late and I heard you mention something about the Joint Powers Act. Could you talk a little bit more about that and say what are your intentions with that?
Well, I don't have any personal intentions, but the county, the Board of Supervisors, and the mayors and councilmen of each of the cities who have libraries in their cities is taking a look at it. It's a document that was adopted in 1975, and it created the system, the library system that we have now. Prior to that, really the city of Santa Rosa and the city of Petaluma had library systems, and cities were trying to have their own libraries, but it's very expensive to run a library, and they determined that the best way would be to join in supporting services for libraries. So that's how it was developed. What will happen with it, I have no idea. The commission has a member who will be on this committee to review the joint powers, and that's our chair, Julia Fries. I'm the alternate. But I understand that the meetings will be open and that the public may attend the meetings. They have not started yet, so I really don't know much more about it than that. People are concerned that the financial aspect of the Joint Powers Agreement might be affected. I have been told that that will not happen, that they're more concerned with the structure and the oversight of the library. So.
Yes?